Hey everyone, welcome back, Persona here. So this is going to be another 1v1 video, this time against Xelor. We're playing the agility set that I normally use, however using an AP parry pet, just on the off chance because Xelors typically play AP reduction and I want to have some mitigation against that. So straight off the bat, my turn really is to get the Ebony Dofus down. So Grimsing Mask, Leak Pie, Picada. And at this point I realizes he's using a Reich Arrow Cape, which means that every time I hit him from range, or up to 11 cells, he will gain some shield for each hit. So quite frustrating, it makes him quite tanky and able to sustain a lot of the damage that I do, especially given that agility masks, their spells are relatively low damage base, so yeah, it could be a bit of a pain point for me. And you'll see here when I use Aguilar, he's actually gaining 200 shield per hit, so it's taking off 200 damage the next time I hit him. So that second hit there was only actually doing 74 damage, which yeah, sort of giving the hint here that it's going to be a bit of a long fight. My technique here really was to take the AoE zone though to ensure that his synchro is down. I didn't want that building up too much at this point. And I realize here he's actually playing what looks like a strength build Xelor, rather than the meta chance AP reduction build that seems to be most popular at the minute. Going into this turn now, I'm thinking, do I want to put the Ebony down again? I can't because I'm in Remnants, and what that means is that I'm stuck in that cell. I can't use any MP points, otherwise I just go backwards. So I have to think about, okay, what can I do from there? I can't hit. What I can do is I can give the Grimsing Mask some shields and sort of try and get ready for the next turn. So it's something to look out for there. It caught us out a little bit, but we'll be ready for it next time. Here what we just sort of see really is that he is happy to just sit back at range, try and chip away at us, and really rely on that Reich Arrow Cape that he has to give himself some sustainability. What I really like here is the use of the Ginga spell, so that's going to stop the Xelor from doing any telefrac or movement onto me, and if you're familiar with Xelors, that means he will lose a lot of the effects that he's able to apply, so it'll probably lower base damage against me or either lower AP reduction. Okay, so he has just taken down the Grimacing Mask, so I lose a little bit of my protection here. Don't have the damage sharing that I normally would, but he doesn't really seem to be applying much damage at all really. So we're going to go in aggressive, we're going to use Blink, we're going to take the AoE from Aguilar, we're going to apply the Ebony, Leak Pie also just to do a little bit of damage, but that Reich Arrow continues to give us a little bit of trouble. And he's down to 3.2k HP now. But because we keep hitting him, each time we hit him, okay, he gets that shield from the Reich Arrow, but he does lose some of his damages as well as a result of it, so his range damages. So we're going to keep on with the shields from Trance. This turn we decide not to use any movement points, so we get the heals from our Sylvan Dofus. Works very well with the Trance spell, so sometimes when you use Trance you can feel a little bit vulnerable. However, if you cast it and then don't use any MP, getting that additional 450 heals from Sylvan can make a big difference when it comes to your survivability after using it. Synchro down here, and I realized as soon as I did that first Aguilar there, I should have gone close combat to the Xelor to cast Aguilar just to help get that Ebony Dofus off. So unfortunately I won't get it off this turn, but we will run away, a little bit of safety, so the Xelor's not able to do too much from where he is now. Synchro is alive for the time being. At this point, I've had a great slot or great opportunity to use Carnivalo to push the Synchro to the Xelor, and rather than having to do just damage to the Synchro, I was able to do the AoE damage, clean up both of his summons as well, and chip away with a little bit of damage to the Xelor also. So he's got his accomplice back out. He's probably going to utilize that to swap back up to the top of the map. Yeah, he does with Rift. And he's got passage of time to swap back to the bottom of the map for his next turn. We're going to use Trance again, and we're going to get the heals from Sylvan as we discussed previously, just to ensure a little bit of survivability. And the Synchro's back again now, but he's consciously playing it to avoid the AoE from himself and the Synchro. And running back up to the top of the map, away from danger. So we're going to get the Ebony off again this turn after taking the close combat damage on the Synchro. Leak Pie for range damage onto the Accomplice. In hindsight, I probably should have done that at range onto the Synchro also. But we got the Ebony off on the Xelor, so it's the most important part really. Yeah, so we've already got the Ebony onto the Xelor, so at this point I think, okay, maybe we just play a bit safer. Take the Synchro down. Get the shields from Carnivalo also. And I feel like we're in a pretty good position at this point. We're playing quite conservatively, but we're at max health. We're slowly chipping away at his health and dealing with the Rykerol Cape. And the only thing I noticed slightly is our max HP is slowly going down, but not at a rate that's too alarming at this point. So he's done Remnants here. We're going to use the Cower, pivot onto it, and then we're going to use Ginga just for a bit of protection with shields here also. I like using Ginga against Xelors when I don't have my Grimacing Mask out, just to give them protection whilst I don't have that damage sharing. So we use the close combat damage onto the Coward. Range damage with Picada and Aguilar also, just to do some potential heals cutting if he tries to trigger anything. At this point I start to think, hang on a second, I should be using Ardor to cut the heals from his Dokoko to speed things up a bit. I think we've done a pretty good job so far just to chip away at him, but to accelerate the fight a little bit, it would be good to see if I could cut the heals from Dokoko entirely. Problem is I don't really often have line of sight against him for that, so we just need to be a bit mindful. If I can't ever get the Dokoko off, Aguilar is my next best option, because it does a slight heals cutting as well. So again, we use Trance, we don't use MP, and then we get the heals from our Sylvan Dofus. At this point he's down to 1.8k health now. That's still relatively comfortable. Synchro is out, but not yet, it's not charged, so it's not too much of a threat yet. And he's using Grunob's Lightning Strike here and getting that heal bonus on the Dokoko turn. So that is frustrating. That's what we want to try and stop if we can. Putting the Ebony Dofus back down again now. Using our MP before we get that last Picada off, just get the extra bit of power bonus from the Sylvan Dofus. teleport onto his summon there and really hide away at the top of the map. We'll take down his synchro. And here you see that we don't need the shields this turn, so we're going to just trigger the 1 MP that we can use each time whilst under Remnants, just to buff up the power bonus from Sylvan Dovers. This turn he's going to go straight back up to the top of the map where the accomplice is. But we can still reach with our agility cells. This is why I really like using this agility set, because of the high range that it does have. So you'll see here, Aguilar, I've got really nice range across the map with it. And we're able to get the Ebony Dovers down as well with that. He says something in French here, not quite sure what. I'm not a native speaker. I've got options here. I can either take the AoE with Aguilar at that point, which I do, and then I can run up and get 2 Picadas off as well. He's going really low in health now, so I start to play a little bit more aggressively. Not too concerned about stacking my shields at this point, just because I see he's at 1k health. If I play aggressively, I can get him down relatively quickly. And this turn I have the AoE onto his accomplice and himself. Can do 2 times Picadas at range and do an Ardor just to prevent any heals this turn. He throws in the good game, so it looks like it's about to be over. Okay, so he can't really do much this turn to survive, and he leaves, and it's GG.